when you see them, the people coming out of colleges and universities, they wear the cloak. You see, the cloak used to be always black for Saturn. Now they use red ones. I've noticed they're very popular. A sort of pinkish red, actually, which is maybe more telling for both sexes. And if you're an architect, you see, or an engineer, you understand technical drawings. You see things in a way differently from other people, because most people see the solid front of an object. They don't see the different aspects, the front view, the top view, the side view. They don't picture it in their minds, but the architect does. And of course, when you're wearing a little hod, as the brick masons call it, where they used to use a hod where they carried the bricks up the ladder. That's where they put them on. And that square there represents that, you see. That little squaring off the head. So the round head is not natural, the rolling stone, and the perfect squared head, you see, the ashlar, they call it in masonry, is now perfected. So nature wasn't good enough. By themselves, they'll go perfect nature, and that's what they say in masonry. They're here to perfect that which was left imperfect. Well, guess what that means? Everything, including you. And if you look from the top view, of course, on one of these little square-headed people with the gowns on, the dresses, you know, you'll see that. You'll see the square, and if you were to see the head beneath it, you see the square, the circle, but in the middle, the squaring off the circle. See, that's what it means. The squaring of the circle, squaring off your brain, a brick in the wall. And it really means that you put a quality approval stamp on you by those who run the system, that they've dumbed you down and you're now stupid enough to work in their system and fork over 40–50% of your earnings to them, you see. In the old days, they needed slave drivers. Slave drivers take away from your profit. And who watches the slave drivers? You see, so we are self-maintained slaves through money that we think is natural, like gravity, simply because it exists in our time when we live. And that's how easy it is to control us. We are self-maintained slaves. We're trained for one thing, that's work in a system to produce and consume. And whether you're producing or consuming with all the sales tax, you're still paying lots of tax money. And of course that goes back to the elite, of course, who use the money for big projects, which we all supposedly call public projects, big huge projects like building railroads across continents and gasworks in Britain, waterworks and roadways. And then when they have it all working and all the problems ironed out, they sell it to each other for peanuts. You see, that's called progress. And the schmucks keep doing it. We've watched this down through the centuries in Europe, as these huge projects were built up by the taxpayer. We're all working for the common good, the common good. And then, gee whiz, one day they tell you, we can't go on like this, you know, it's too expensive. We need professional people, more professional people with a motive, a profit motive to take care of it. It's only incentive to make things work. So they put it up for a raffle, and of course one of the handful of the elite Masonic buddies gets to win it for peanuts. So it's a beautiful world, this road to progress, this destiny of progress. And it's never been defined to the public exactly where you're going, and that's not by chance. Although it is told to you legally through movies and novels, and even songs, because that's called predictive programming, because legally they must tell you what they're doing. And they do all the time in the movies and novels and music. Plato described the whole technique. Today we call it a form of indoctrination, predictive programming, which means that through fiction, or through when you think you're enjoying yourself, through being entertained undercover, and to entertain, tain comes from tin, the cover. When you're under the cover, your censor part of your mind is not working. And when it's not working, you're unaware that you're being downloaded like a computer. And so all the little emotional techniques that you use, and you're identifying with the hero or the female with the heroine, and there's people in between these days, and all that kind of stuff. Once you start identifying with the characters, they've got you, because they can take you anywhere, no matter what that character does, because as long as you identify this much with them, they can take you that much into where they want you to go emotionally. And so when the real things start to happen in your own life, you say, well, this is kind of familiar to me. And you don't object to it. Because you're thinking, well, I guess it's the only way we could go in society in this particular area. I guess it's a natural evolution. But no, your mind was prepared, because these guys are the shepherds, you know. They have another bunch of slaves and scientists that work for them who do this mind control business, and they farm us to an extent. First of all, they know what they want to grow in this field, the particular crop they want to grow, and how high, and how many. And they first prepare the land, you know. They cut the brush, they plough it, they harrow it, they do all the necessary groundwork, and then they sow the seed and watch it grow, you see, and cultivate it. Well, that's what they do with your mind in preparation for every event that will happen in your life, every major event in your life. You've seen it all through movies, especially in this day and age, and in the last century it was primarily, well, in the 20th century, it was primarily novels and stage plays and music halls, etc. But today it's in everybody's TV, the one-eyed set, the Eye of Lucifer, or Ra, you know, the Tell Levi Zion. And they program it right into you through entertainment, and then you see it happening in real life, and you think, well, I guess that's okay, it's sort of natural, isn't it? And you don't think any more beyond that. Where did that idea come from in the first place? It's marketed to you through entertainment. And that's the prime reason for entertainment, is not for you to sit and have music while you chew the grass like good little sheep. It's to program you. And that's why you have to have big bucks to get in to the entertainment industry. Big bucks. And you must be qualified to be being a very high degree Mason who knows the score, as they say. Because they can't let any Joe Blow come in. Plato said that thousands of years ago. Culture is created from the top and put down to the people. We're taught it comes from the grassroots, you see, and just sort of withers or blossoms or like weeds that grows, and it doesn't, because they can't allow anything to come from the grassroots. Because if it's not in their plan, you can never tell the unforetold consequences the most simplest, seemingly innocent thing could possibly do, the rippling effects, and what it would affect, and so on. So everything comes from the top down in this culture creation business. And it's always been that way in civilization. What normalcy was, we haven't a clue. Prior to the incoming of these characters with their system, their ancient system of money, chronology, you know, priesthoods, and merchandising and rulerships. Ruler, of course, comes from the ruler that you use in school, a ruler. Everything is Masonic terminology. Cain is the same thing too. He's a priest, but he's also a builder. Cain was the first artificer, the first scientist who made things with metals and so on, weaponry. And you have a ruler. A cane is also a ruler. They used to use the canes, the bulrushes, to make rulers in ancient Middle East. So they're rulers, and they measure us, you see. And a good ruler weighs you in the balance, as I say. And if you're found wanting, he won't have you around, because he wants efficiency. And that's where we're going today, with pure efficiency. School to work. School to work. Now, when you listen to the elite talking, if you ever mix amongst them, you'll hear them discuss this kind of stuff quite freely. Oh, the people need us, you know, the masses, the peasants, the profane, they need us. It's like saying that you know, the mice in the field need that hawk. That's how they rationalize this nonsense. They can never look at themselves honestly because good psychopaths cannot. They run on ego, super ego. That's why they're psychopaths. And they get their way regardless of the consequences to anyone around them because they have no empathy for others. Now they can work together as long as they're working towards a common goal and they're all sharing the loot. But the time obviously comes when good psychopaths have to turn on each other, and it will eventually come one day.